than welcome back to Little Miss Dropstitch. I've got the antlers on today, if they'll fit on screen, which can only mean one thing, and that it's a 2024 roundup of the year. I've included personal things as well as Little Miss Dropstitch things, and I think I said it probably last year, I don't believe in measuring happiness and success in 365 days. Or I think it was 366. I'm pretty sure it was a leap year this year. I don't really believe in that. It just, no, it's quite negative for me, I think. You know, you see people on social media like, oh, it's been the best year ever. Oh, it's not been a good year. I don't think you can measure happiness and success in the expanse of a year. So I've written down what I have got up to in the past 366 days. Do let us know down below in the comments as well how your year, 366 days went, what you got up to, what were your favourite bits, what perhaps, you know, didn't go to plan for you or that wasn't your highlight of the year. Let it all out in the comments because I'd love to read them and get to know you all better. And do give us that like, thumbs up, subscribe and all that good stuff so we can continue to do more wonderful crafting things and, well, yeah, do more of what I'm about to say in a minute. The thing that's at the forefront of my mind, because I have just done a video on it, which I will link down below, I have massively reduced my spending on craft supplies because I'm saving up, you know, for different things in my life that are quite expensive, like a house. Yeah, I did really good. My kind of Achilles heel is buying things online, and yeah, I did absolutely brilliant at that. Chuffedy badge. Or did I do brilliant? I'm just forgetting things selectively, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I did brilliant at it. And I did buy wool in physical places, you know, bricks and mortar shops, on holiday and Yarndale at the craft show, but that was totally allowed for me because that's, you know, there's not one around the corner, so it's not something I'm going doing all the time. So yeah, absolute chuffedy badge with that one because it's something that was difficult. I have been really disciplined in terms of, you know, oh, can I see, you know, what I've got in, and maybe it won't be the picture I had, you know, in mind, but can I use bits from my stash and things like that. And do check that video out actually because there's some good tips for how I learned to save money on craft supplies in 2024. I have, from about June, July onwards, made a pair of socks in between each project, and yeah, I pretty much stuck to that, and I decided I needed to start doing it because yeah, my sock yarn stash is not going down at all, and I have enjoyed getting back into socks as well. I didn't realise I'd not done any for like 6 months, so that was enjoyable and something I will definitely continue to do next year. I have been continuing my journey with stranded colourwork. I'm pretty sure it was for last year, I said that this year, in 2024, I wanted to do more of it and get better at it because it really had taken me by surprise as something that I really enjoyed and probably my favourite thing to do in knitting, favourite technique. So I know this year I've done the usual 2-stranded colourwork, and then I ventured out into 3-stranded colourwork in Latvian mittens, and yeah, that was a challenge. That's definitely, I enjoyed it, I'm glad I did it, but it gets put away. You know, we don't do Latvian mittens all the time, put it that way. But yeah, I really did enjoy that technique, and I'll probably look to do some more next year as well. Any more for any more? Well, I have been continuing learning Norwegian every day now. I think it's about 18 months, which I'm super proud of. Again, chuffedy badge, just because it's something that's been a habit and I've been consistent in. Don't get me wrong, some days, you know, I've done the tiniest amount of learning Norwegian or just repeating over words and stuff, and other days I've managed to do more, but I've been consistent at it. And I did have some, quite a lot actually, online Norwegian lessons as well, which I'll look to continue next year, and I do have a Brill teacher as well. One thing that I really love with all my heart is I had a virtual meetup with people that I met on the Ernie and Carlos cruise back in 2022. And I've lots of videos about that Ernie and Carlos knitting cruise trip. If you'd like to watch them, I'll try and put them down below if I can remember as well. But yeah, that was really lovely. It was like my little people that I met on the trip, and we were all solo travellers, all ladies. And then, yeah, out of the blue, one of them said, shall we do a virtual meetup? And yeah, it was so lovely. And then to see what other people had made, and I remember them getting the wool as well. So yeah, that was really lovely. And I think we're looking at doing another one in the near future as well. I went on my jollies to Dublin and Latvia. For Dublin, I organised it for 6 of us, so me and 5 of my knitting friends. it's stressful organising, let me tell you, but we did really enjoy it, and I got to show them one of my favourite wool shops in Dublin, and then I went to Latvia by myself to get over such a group holiday. I went to Latvia by myself, and there's videos on that as well, if I can think on to link them below, because spoilers, it was amazing and beautiful and not what I expected in an absolutely good way. And there's there's a lot of wool shops, okay, just in a small area, so do go and check that out. But yeah, I went to Dublin and Latvia. I'm laid back relaxing now. Okay, so the absolute biggest thing that happened to both me and Little Miss Drop Stitch this year was I got my crochet on the Help I Sexted My Boss podcast, which is actually like a really big podcast in the United Kingdom, and it does have like a worldwide following as well. And yeah, they properly showed them off, and they're still in the background when they film weekly as well. So what it was the character, two dolls of caricatures they'd mentioned. So one was Campman and one was Arseless Chaps, and yeah, they absolutely loved it. I've done a video on it and going over in it, and I got a beautiful thank you letter cum card from, William as well. So yeah, honestly, I was just like so nervous, like sickly nervous, but then really happy in equal measures. And yeah, it was just weird, like my things being shown to the world. So yeah, that was a real treat, and yeah, it gave me a big confidence boost for Little Miss Drop Stitch and my work as well. It's one of them, if you don't try, you'll never know, and if you don't try, there's absolutely no chance of anything happening either. So we put out that positive serendipity, and I made and finally sent off the dolls, and good things happened. And I made Jordan and William laugh, so yeah, that's the best bit. Another good thing, I've reduced my spending quite a bit in general. I'm all spreadsheeted up, Martin Lewis out. I'm like a little financial advisor now. So no, we're getting to grips with it, and then I'm saving up for a house and things. So yeah, I've massively reduced my spending on fun things. Yeah. Another thing, I didn't realise how many patterns that Little Miss Drop Stitch has made. There's now 13, and that's over about 18 months. But this year I've definitely built up the pattern bank on both Ravelry and Etsy. If you want a pumpkin pattern, there are absolutely loads, and we will be expanding that next year as well. Because I'm a bit addicted to pumpkins and having them in patterns in all different weights, thicknesses, knitting, crochet, all the rest of it. And yes, I am going to be working on a pattern shortly for an occasion in 2025, and that'll be another free pattern as well. So do keep updated and check out the free patterns. I've learned to do better thumbnails for YouTube. Nothing too exciting to say about that, but there we go. It's something technical that you don't want to learn, but you've got to have to. And yeah, I'm doing the best I can, and they were better than they were, so that's something. I've also been consistently reading every night before bed. I kind of have had in the past spates of doing it loads and then slipping into going on my phone before bed, and then the light keeps you up and all that. But yeah, I've really noticed a difference, and I've been reading every night and not going on my phone too much before bed. But yeah, definitely it's kind of phone, reading, bed, so there's no phone before I shut my eyes. But yeah, it's been helping me, and I've been consistent with that habit as well. Having a YouTube channel and making knitting crochet patterns, tutorials, all the rest of it is very much on the surface. So what I've done in 2024, I looked into kind of the algorithms, the SEO ranking and all that boring technical stuff. I did employ a freelancer as well for a little bit of work, but I don't think I got value for money, so I wouldn't do that again. So onwards, the search continues of how to grow Little Miss Drop Stitch. This autumn I also did what I called the pumpkin drop, and that's where around the UK and Scotland as well, I handmade some pumpkins with kind of a little note and rhyme on and things, asking people to come and find us. And yeah, I got a couple of comments from them, but for most people which they're free to do what they wish with them. Most people took them. I'm talking like out of 30, about 2 people probably you know, put a comment or followed me or whatever. However, this is me being honest, the videos did look good of me, you know, like placing them and stuff for social media, and I got followers and lots of nice comments through that. So would I do it again? I don't know. If I had plenty of time on my hands, yes, because the videos look good, you know, in our little bank of media we've got, and people did engage with that a lot, but they didn't engage the actual people who picked them up. So yeah, I'm a bit indifferent with it, but you know, it's another thing, we've tried it. I have consistently made YouTube videos for 18 months now, can you believe it? Another thing I got up to, I did my very first steak. Scary stuff, but honestly I loved it and it worked well. So if you don't know what that is, a steak, you'll kind of basically make a jumper, and it's easy to do that way rather than purling and doing colour work. So you make your jumper, there's a bit extra in the middle, and then you kind of, the way I did it, you kind of crochet 2 channels and then cut between the stitches and fold it over and things, and then it magically doesn't come undone somehow. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. So yeah, I did steaking and I can't wait to do it again next year actually. It's nothing to be afraid of. One thing I found out I really enjoyed doing this year is tapestry. I've not particularly done it before, and yeah, I like the ones where it's printed canvas, so you basically just colouring in. It's just a different way to move my hands, and it gives kind of the repetitiveness of knitting and crochet hands a break and I'm doing something else. And yeah, I really do like the results. I did portrait, like a funky portrait. There's one of Agatha Christie and one of an artist called Grayson Perry, and they were by Appleton's. They do tapestry stuff, and if it's been good, I will be opening one on Christmas Day. That's, what is it? Oh yeah, it's like a winter scene with a fox and it's all very sweet, and that will become a cushion. This year I have really been making conscious decisions and effort to be more sustainable in the crafts that I bring you, not just the ones I do in my personal life. And yeah, we've got a whole new bit to the site and channel, which is upcycling and DIY, and we've been making all sorts, and that's helped me as well because it's cost me less with, you know, using things that I've got around the house, or at least in parts. So bits we did dyeing clothes using different methods. We made these little trees that are actually from books, and also simple Christmas cards and bits and bobs like that. So yeah, I'm really keen to look at doing that again next year. A personal one for me this year, secret, I am absolutely terrified of driving. And yeah, I've been going to knitting once a week, which is a 5-minute journey, and I do like under 500 miles a year. But towards the latter end of the year, so winter, the perfect time, you know, for driving. I was saving for lessons, but my brother kindly offered to help me, and I'm glad he did because I needed a lot more than I thought. And yeah, we've stuck at it, and it's not necessarily the practicing I don't want to do, it's the fact if I do it, you could, you know, it end up costing you a fortune. If your car's written off, you could kill people, run them over, maim them, end up in prison. You know, it's not just, you know, feel the fear and do it anyway at all. So yeah, that's something. And you know what, I am doing brilliantly if I say so myself. And yeah, we've been driving all sorts. There's still a way to go and, you know, skills to build on, but yes, for the most part, it's been going well. And finally, this one is super exciting for me, but I'm not actually allowed to tell you, which isn't my strong point either. So was it about December? I can't even say too much. Exciting things happened, and I'm not sure when I can tell you next year, but as soon as I can, I will. Okay. There we have it. All of the bits and bobs that happened to me and Little Miss Dropstitch in 2024. And now we've taken stock. Actually, yeah, it was a really positive and successful year. Sometimes it can feel that, you know, it's not successful with, you know, the traction of Little Miss Dropstitch, but then you'll get little boosts and little stalls. So yeah, it's all balanced out. But you know what, we have had some really positive moments, especially with getting my crochet on the Help I Sexted My Boss podcast with William Hanson and Jordan North. And there we go. That's everything that happened to both Little Miss Dropstitch and myself over the past 366 leap year days. I'm really glad to have taken the time to take stock of what happened, because you realise that, there are a lot of successes, because sometimes it can feel, oh, we're not getting traction or we're stalling with Little Miss Drop Stitch, but then actually you can, especially getting, you know, my crochet on a podcast and things, yeah, really positive and successful stuff. Don't forget to let me know how your year went in the comments below. Successes, things that didn't go so well, just let me know how you've been. And there will also, in probably next week, yes, next week, there will be my plans for myself and Little Miss Drop Stitch in 2025 video, so do wait for that one. Honestly, thank you so much for being with us this year, whether it's people that's been with us from the start or you've only just joined us, you shared something you've liked. Honestly, for small creators, it does mean the world. We see every single one of you, and you know, you help us grow little by little, and yeah, it's really great, so thank you. And if you could keep that up next year, I'd be super grateful. Thank you, and take care.